Hello, I'm Dan Marr from the Nashua law firm of Hamblett Kerrigan. I've been practicing law in New Hampshire for approximately 36 years and about 28 years in Massachusetts, practicing both states right here on the border in Nashua. And I'm going to talk today about cohabitation agreements in New Hampshire. A cohabitation agreement is an agreement between two people that are living together and they actually aren't married, so they're actually thinking through the possibilities of what happens if one of them decides to leave the relationship. I find these to be extremely prudent, but usually not done. And when they are done, they work extremely well. And I deal with a lot of litigation where maybe a boyfriend and girlfriend or girlfriend, whatever it may be, a romantic relationship, one person moves in with the other person and say that other person owns a property and that the person moving in doesn't have their name signed to the property. Generally under partition laws, it's tough to prove that the person has an interest in that property. Even if they say, well, I was contributing towards the mortgage on the property, that can be considered rent. Marriage matters in that situation. And then also sometimes people will be actually buying the property together. And then what happens when the relationship ends? And again, you're not in a marriage, so you don't have a divorce rules, all those rules there. There's a partition action, which is a specific statute that I've done vlogs on before that deal with the court determining who gets the value of the property. You can decide that early though. You can decide, frankly, right at the beginning of the relationship to figure out what happens and how you value the contributions to the property, or basically what happens when one of you decides to leave the relationship or leave the residential house or condominium that you have. And all of that can be done in an agreement. I find that to happen a lot more in the situations where they've already been married. Maybe one of them was widowed, or both of them are widowed, or or one of them went through a divorce, and they don't have that same feeling of, well, if I enter into an agreement, I'm admitting that something could go wrong. Well, even when you enter into a marriage, which is a very important commitment by each party, there is laws there and there's a regulation as to how to deal with it. And if you actually entered into some situations, they enter into prenuptial agreements, which we do also, that helps define what happens when the relationship ends. It's not a defeatist attitude, it's just reality, it's life. Things happen and people change, and maybe illnesses take place, or there could be a whole host of reasons why the relationship is going to end. And thinking about that ahead of time makes good sense for people. So cohabitation agreements can deal with the issue of what happens when one of you want to move out, when can you force the sale of the property, all of those things. Having that healthy discussion with your hopefully lifetime partner, but at least romantic partner now makes perfect sense. And it's not an easy discussion perhaps to have, but it's a good discussion to have. And there's a lot of things that can happen, again, including what happens if somebody gets ill and they need to have long-term care. You can have those discussions ahead of time, and you can have a cohabitation agreement, and we've done those, and they work very well. Then the people know exactly what the parameters are. You know, what's good fences make good neighbors. It's nice to know what your rights are when you're dealing with this situation. And it's also nice to know what your obligations are as well. So I find cohabitation agreements to be very helpful. If you have questions in regards to any of this, you can contact us at 603-883-5501, Hamblett Kerrigan at 603-883-5501, or you can check out our website at nashualaw, all one word, .com. That's nashualaw.com. Look forward to working with you if the opportunity so arises. Thank you.